In one episode, Ukrainian reconnaissance tracked a lone Russian soldier for hours. Burdened with his rifle and full combat gear, he moved sluggishly toward his position. Eventually, fatigue overcame him. Near a tree, he set down his helmet and pack, desperate to catch his breath, unaware that every step had been under watchful eyes. Overhead, a Ukrainian FPV drone lingered with cold patience, circling silently. When it finally dove, the soldier had barely dropped to his knees. Escape was out of the question. The strike hit with flawless precision, wiping out the position in an instant. This moment was a textbook demonstration of persistence and restraint, tracking a single figure until the perfect opportunity for destruction arrived. Not far away, in the Kiev region, another Russian soldier concealed himself in thick brush. He clutched his weapon like a shield, but the Ukrainian FPV drone was already locked on. The strike raced toward him, detonating with brutal force in the Kherson direction. Elite fighters from Ukraine's 73rd Naval Special Operations Center executed the blow flawlessly, erasing a hidden Russian base stocked with ammunition for raids on Ukrainian troops. Before dawn, Ukrainian intelligence noticed suspicious movements on the edge of a village. Russian troops had converted a civilian home into a covert base, disguising their presence beneath ordinary walls. Convinced they were safe, they never expected what came next. Operators armed their FPV drones, calibrating them for pinpoint accuracy to minimize collateral damage. One by one, the drones surged toward the building. The first slammed into the room where the soldiers gathered, erupting in a fireball. Chaos followed. Some tried to run, others to hide, but a second drone ripped through their cover, detonating the ammunition depot inside. Flames consumed the house, scattering fragments of munitions across the wreckage. The assault left around 10 Russian soldiers dead and 3 more gravely wounded. Elsewhere, another FPV kamikaze drone zeroed in on enemy infantry. Its target dodged the first strike with a sudden roll, clutching nothing but a shovel to fend it off. Yes, a shovel. The soldiers swung frantically, twisting left and right, but the maneuver was pointless. The drone plunged forward and smashed into him with a crackling blast. The explosion vaporized his flimsy defense, leaving only sparks and shattered steel behind. Further east, 2 Russian troops near the Zaporizhia region were spotted by drones of the Ivan Franko unit. They crawled into a ditch, hidden under branches. A bomb-laden FPV crept closer. Whether they froze on purpose or never saw the drone remains unclear. Even as the UAV hovered almost on top of them, they made no move. Then came the strike. The detonation tore through their cover, the drone's accuracy leaving no escape. Once again, modern FPV technology proved merciless, showing how passive defense and silence offered no salvation against a relentless aerial predator. In a nearby forest, a Russian KAMAZ truck carrying reinforcements was identified and destroyed by a Ukrainian FPV drone. As the vehicle halted, 2 Russian soldiers attempted to shoot the drone down. Their bullets missed. The strike landed squarely, tearing the truck apart. One soldier leapt from the vehicle and ran for his life, but the drone refused to let go. It followed him relentlessly and detonated mid-chase. His body armor was useless. The blast tore through him without mercy. At the same time, soldiers of the 137th Separate Territorial Defense Battalion showcased Ukrainian ingenuity. They had modified a civilian car into a makeshift missile launcher. Unlike a standard rocket system worth millions, this improvised platform achieved deadly results against Russian targets, valued at many times its cost. Each successful strike became a symbol of determination, turning limited resources into devastating power. Every day, with financial backing from the Ukrainian public, these operators expand their campaign. FPV drones slip into enemy hangars and shelters, striking with uncanny precision. But the battlefield cut both ways. Ukrainian defenders traveling by car between forward positions suddenly came under attack from a Russian FPV drone. The kamikaze UAV bore down on them at high speed. Yet one Ukrainian soldier reacted with incredible timing, shooting it from the sky before impact. Their quick reflexes turned certain death into survival, allowing the convoy to continue safely. Elsewhere, a Russian soldier sought safety behind a tree. It was futile. The FPV drone maneuvered low, locked onto him, and pressed forward. He raised his weapon, firing desperately, but the rounds went wide. The drone struck cleanly, ending his chance at escape. It was another stark reminder. Even cover and rifles could not stand against FPV precision. Not long after, a Russian motorcyclist sped through a wooded trail. A drone closed in, struck, and hurled the rider into the dirt while his motorcycle erupted in flames. Injured, he crawled into the bushes, seeking shelter. But additional drones were dispatched. They scoured the area and eliminated him without hesitation. The pursuit revealed the merciless reach of UAVs, escape routes cut off in seconds from the air. In another encounter, Ukrainian drone operators spotted a Russian soldier navigating the ruins of a destroyed building. As the FPV dove, the soldier panicked, sprinting across open terrain. His odds were slim. The drone struck nearby, blasting debris outward. Shards and fragments ricocheted, tearing into him and leaving him incapacitated despite his frantic attempt to flee. In the Zaporizhia region, Ukrainian operators tracked an advancing Russian infantry vehicle. They launched an FPV drone, but the vehicle swerved away just in time. Moments later, it drove over an anti-tank mine. The explosion obliterated it instantly. 2 Russian soldiers hiding in tall grass became the next victims. The 414th UAV Brigade, known as the Hungarian Birds, deployed an FPV. The drone located their position precisely, leaving them with no chance of survival. Other Russian troops tried to find refuge beneath a collapsed bridge. One soldier was specifically targeted, struck even in the shadows. It has now become a pattern. Russians burrow beneath ruins, behind debris, under shattered walls. Yet Ukrainian FPV operators keep finding them. Each strike dismantles their makeshift shelters, undermines defensive lines, and shatters morale. By the end of this phase, it was clear there was no safe cover. Not walls, not trees, not trenches. Ukrainian drones prowled relentlessly, and every hiding place eventually fell under their gaze. Across open terrain, a solitary Russian soldier moved cautiously forward. From above, Ukraine's 20th Separate Regiment of Unmanned Systems, K2, deployed a drone to hunt him down. Unaware of the silent threat circling overhead, he continued advancing until the FPV struck his position with brutal precision. In the Luhansk region, another Russian infantryman crouched behind a battered vehicle, convinced the ruined metal shell would protect him. But the drone had him locked in. One decisive strike shattered his illusion of safety, proving that quick judgment and accurate timing determine life or death. At a railway depot, Ukrainian reconnaissance identified 3 enemy soldiers. The team responded immediately, launching a drone that surged toward the site. The strike incapacitated at least one, crippling enemy activity in the area and preventing any coordinated movement. Meanwhile, the Azov Battalion, already notorious for deadly drone warfare, continued its campaign. Their FPVs swooped down on Russian infantry positions, delivering strikes with such speed and precision that the enemy rarely had time to react. Time and again, Russian troops were caught in the open fields, trenches, ruined positions, unable to counter the relentless pressure. The toll was more than physical. The psychological strain grew heavier with each hit. Soldiers no longer trusted their cover. Fear replaced confidence, and the battlefield tilted further into Ukrainian control. One Russian soldier, gravely injured after surviving an initial drone strike, staggered helplessly. Disoriented, he realized capture was inevitable. In desperation, he reached for his grenade, choosing death over surrender. His first attempt failed, but with trembling hands, he tried again. The device finally detonated, ending his struggle in a grim, self-inflicted blast. This harrowing scene reflected the crushing weight of constant FPV assaults, not just their physical lethality, but the unbearable psychological torment they inflicted. Elsewhere, an FPV drone from Ukrainian Azov units spotted a Russian vehicle on the move. The chase began immediately. The driver swerved, the passengers panicked, but the drone pilot pressed on. Every sharp maneuver was matched, every turn anticipated. One soldier flung open the door, hoping to leap free, but before he could escape, the drone closed in and slammed into the vehicle, ending the pursuit in a thunderous explosion. Near Adva in the Donetsk region, the Ukrainian 32nd Mechanized Brigade unleashed a wave of FPV drones. Their precision strikes pounded Russian trenches, forcing soldiers to abandon defensive positions and retreat. Under relentless bombardment, Russia's lines thinned, weakened beyond repair. Simultaneously, Ukrainian artillery units executed a carefully coordinated assault around Davykita village and the city of Turk. Guided by reconnaissance drones, artillery shells slammed into Russian emplacements. Infantry squads, a mortar crew, and even a camouflaged howitzer were annihilated in the barrage. UAV operators tracked survivors fleeing into ruined buildings. They relayed coordinates, and artillery followed up instantly. High-explosive rounds collapsed entire structures, burying Russian soldiers beneath the rubble. By the end of that day, the results were devastating. 5 howitzers destroyed, 3 mortar systems eliminated, and approximately 25 Russian troops wiped out. A single operation had stripped away a vital portion of Russian artillery strength in the sector, an unmistakable blow to their firepower. A Ukrainian FPV drone crippled a Russian armored vehicle with a first strike, then destroyed it entirely with a second hit aimed at its weak spot. Meanwhile, a compilation revealed multiple downed Russian reconnaissance UAVs, machines once used to direct artillery and kamikaze drones. Each loss further eroded Russia's ability to gather intelligence and coordinate strikes, highlighting the effectiveness of Ukraine's counter-drone campaign. Ukrainian soldiers also cleared enemy trenches manually. Grenades were tossed in first, followed by suppressive rifle fire. Once secured, they stormed inside, finding abandoned Russian gear. Swift, ruthless, and efficient, the trench was taken with no chance of counterattack. The captured position gave Ukraine a stronger foothold along the line. It was proof of their precision and resolve. Across these hours, FPV drones kept reshaping the battlefield, eliminating soldiers in ruins, hunting vehicles on forest roads, collapsing artillery nests, and striking infantry even in cover. Each attack chipped away at Russian defenses, not only through destruction, but also through fear. By the end, the message was clear. Nowhere was safe. Trenches, bridges, houses, or trees, all could be found and struck. Ukrainian persistence, supported by public funding and technical improvisation, turned drones into the most decisive weapon of this war.